Alright, let's talk about this. Let's read the synopsis and I'll tell you guys the characters. After her release from prison, Tanya learns her sister Danica is in love. However, suspicious that Danica is getting catfished, Tanya decides to dig deeper into the matter. Now, let's go to the cast. The cast members. Oh, I gotta say, Tiffany Haddish is Tanya. Oh, wow, she pulls it off. She is such a catch. Tanika Subtur as Danica. She's really well done. Omara Hardwork, Frank, nice character. Whoopi Goldberg, Lana, Amber Riley, uh, Scylla, Chris Rock, Lawrence, sweet, yeah, Lawrence. Chris Rock is in this film. I was surprised what he was doing in this film. Pretty interesting. Uh, ahead, Brooks Charles. If you guys watch the film, you'll know what I'm talking about. Miss Plea, Lord Vito, Max, some random aspects afterwards. There's just other characters are just separate characters that they're okay characters. Those just separate characters. So like I said, what is in this film is like where every time the catfishing is mostly like they think it's like they give you well, mostly what it mostly means is like you give the money to people and then they try to give you money. They think that they're it's like mostly like if you try to like if they ask you something and if you give it to them, then they never you don't even hear from them. Mostly in this version of catfishing, there's something very different about it. Is because that I can't. Well, this is an old film. I can probably explain whatever. So this is probably a 2018 film, and it is a comedy, romance comedy. It's an hour and 50 minutes long. So mostly what happens is that Danica actually gets she actually loves someone named Charles, but someone else behind it is uh, in this movie there is a lot of twists in this film. I don't want to spoil because you have not seen the film, but it's already been 2018, so people might have seen it already. So whatever. But mostly, what happens is that Danica actually always calls Charles, sorry, Lord Charles all the time. Mostly, we don't know his face, see his face, any of that stuff. Mostly, his sister Tanya, after she gets out of prison, she knows that Danica has a boyfriend. But mostly, she never heard of him before and never seen his face before. So, mostly, she tried to wait and try to get his face, but nothing happens. But now she slowly wants to figure out who is the person. So, Tanya actually goes and finds a catfishing place, helpers, and they come and help figure out if the person is catfishing Danica or not. So mostly they got information where Danica's crazy person is. Mostly, Chris Rock plays as Lawrence is actually trying to play as Charles, and mostly he wasn't Charles. He was a different person. But mostly, uh, he is. She's trying to get back to. I think Frank. Mostly Frank was also out of jail also, but he owns a coffee shop. He's a good person, and Danica does not realize it. He thinks she thinks that he kind of but there's a list where she just wants all the perfect men, the perfect person in the world. Mostly for that particular thing, having a perfect person is not a good thing sometimes. Mostly in her head when she got a perfect person, it doesn't turn right as it's supposed to feel. Mostly it doesn't feel good, doesn't feel right, and feel like she's just like, nah, doesn't feel right at all. Mostly she is, then Frank is the good person here, Donovan never knows about it, and Charles is the dream of Donovan. But after Charles, well, Donica finally realizes that Charles is not the one of a kind dreamy person that she he really wants, then she goes with uh, Frank, the one and only Frank. But mostly, there's a lot of times where he has been disappointed so many times. So I think happens for a while. Uh, Crazy things happen here and there, so it does. But mostly, this film was really interesting. Like I said, I don't like it as much as I thought I would have, but it is a pretty funny film. It is a pretty good funny film. It's very interesting. I did have pretty good fun with it. It's a pretty good time if you're a fan of comedy and romantic films. It's pretty good. But like I said, I'll probably give it like a 10 out of 10. I probably will give it a 7 out of 10 for being. It has a decent story. It has a decent story, good acting, good things, but just has a little bit. Story wise, could be much more better. I felt like the ending didn't do well for me. I felt like I wish the ending was a little more better, where that they showed that Donica's uh, ex ex man ex boyfriend uh, was getting married with the other girl. But instead, they showed that particular scene instead of seeing Donica getting married to Zach, to Frank. So mostly, I wish Donica they showed Donica and Frank getting married, but instead it was another guy. Like, why did they do that? So I felt like the ending was kind of crap, not great. So mostly to me, this movie is definitely is a decent scoring, but it could have been much more better in my own opinion. The probably a 7 out of 10 for me. That's just my own opinion. But other than that, it's just a bit average of a film. Other than that, guys, it's just a pretty an average film for me, in my own opinion. But other than that, Nobody Fools is a decent, interesting film if you like comedy and interesting movies. Other than that, that's all that. Anyway, guys, have a safe night, have a safe weekend. And like I said, um, Nobody Fools is literally 7 out of 10. Great. What's up, man? Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good day. Bye.